Now let's take a quick look at reorganizing and rebuilding indexes. SQL Server, I've already mentioned this in a prior video somewhere there on indexing, but SQL Server 2012 will automatically maintain your indexes as data is changed. It will rebuild those statistics for you and so forth. However, keep in mind that even though it's maintaining these statistics, that as you add data and move data around and so forth, you are creating fragmentation in those indexes. All right? What happens is we end up with an index that has pages in which the logical ordering doesn't match the physical ordering inside the data file, and SQL has to look really hard to find the data. All right? And so as a result, we end up with heavily fragmented indexes. So now we've kind of gotten shot in the foot again, for a southern technical term there, and that is we've gone to the trouble of creating an index, applying the index, and now the index itself is degrading our query performance, right? Real life can be ugly sometimes. So now let's talk about reorganizing an index. We can either reorganize or rebuild, and there's always a debate out there on the internet about which one you should do, and I'm going to take you through these steps here. But in this video, I just want to talk about kind of the high-level aspects of reorganizing and rebuilding. Then in a separate video, I'll talk about which one you should use when, okay? So to reorganize an index, a lot of people like this one because it uses minimal system resources. It always occurs online when you execute the reorganize command. Now what's neat about that, let me translate always occurs online into English. There are no table locks added to the table. It kind of happens in the background online, and it's pretty cool. It compacts the index pages based on the fill factor, which we're going to talk about later. Just file that away for now. It also physically reorders the leaf level pages to match the logical left to right order of the leaf nodes. And some of you are saying, what are you talking about? Okay? Trust me, we'll talk about leaf level pages, left to right order of leaf nodes. You'll understand it a little bit later, but for now, just kind of throw it on the pile, okay? And we'll come back and explain that. But I just want you to know that reorganizing basically does that. It shuffles all the papers, gets them back in the right order, and everybody's happy. Now, rebuilding an index drops and recreates the index. It's kind of like tearing the house down and rebuild it. Talk about cleaning the house. It's really clean. Everything's new, but obviously kind of expensive. All right, now the rebuild will actually reclaim disk space. So if we've got holes in there where things have been deleted and so forth, we can actually reclaim that disk space and give it back out to the database, okay? It also reorders the index rows in contiguous pages. And so anytime we're trying to do searches for lots of data, contiguous pages are great, right? It cuts down on the number of input-output reads. Now, when I rebuild an index, it can either be executed online or offline. If it's offline, it means it locks the table. Nobody can use it while the rebuild is taking place, okay? What a lot of people like about the rebuild is I can use the all option, and it will cause all indexes on the table to be dropped and rebuilt. Now, a lot of DBAs will include rebuild in their database maintenance plan, and if you have time, you can run this overnight or on weekends or whatever. You can rebuild all your indexes, and again, keep in mind it basically drops them, rebuilds them, they're good as new. All right, so that's some of the differences and comparisons between reorganizing and rebuilding. If you're not familiar with this, you may want to go read about this a little bit before you take the exam. But just understand, to keep your indexes from getting fragmented and getting harder and harder and more inefficient for SQL Server to utilize, you'll need to reorganize them or rebuild them from time to time, and this is a step you will see in the database maintenance plans, and you need to take advantage of it there.